Okay, cat do it for me. Touch.
No way.
4. Senric, you heal 4 hit points.
Okay, that should bring me above.
Yeah, that brings you
4.
because you do 1d8 plus. Oh, sorry, 6 hit points.
6.
My mistake. 6 hit points. And 1d8 plus 2 for Kim.
For cure wounds.
For Kim, it's different than you. She used a different modifier.
Oh, is it? Alright.
Different
I'm
modifier.
at 3 out of 13 then.
No.
Right?
So when you go down, you hit 0. If I deal enough damage after 0 to equal your hit points or half of your hit points, I think it's equal or half. I'm gonna double check. You're dead. You didn't get enough to die in 1 hit. In a sense, I didn't do enough damage to, in a sense, outright kill you like I did with the noble. So you're at 0 hit points.
I'll say one thing though. I did specify that I put myself between the noble and the hag.
Yeah,
so would I
but
have cushioned the blow, even
you wouldn't know. Hell, you wouldn't have cushioned it, no matter what. That, in a sense, you're in a closed room. The explosion, when it goes off, it's a fireball. Your reaction is to like kind of curl, but the shockwave's enough to rip someone apart if they're unprepared, and he was unprepared. So, Senric, you're back up to 6 hit. You're back up to 6 hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you are lucky. You don't need any death saving throws. I'll now take us up initiative because that is us. So you have successfully killed the creepy old woman, and you also noticed, in a sense, the beam that you are standing around. A lot of the beams in this room now are cracking.
So, so, fuck. Because I'm directly in between her and the door.
Yep.
I'm going to very quickly scour her body, just to see if she has any like magical items or anything on her.
Okay, I'm just giving me 1 second, making a wee note here. Okay, so you scour her body. Her robes, you notice that she has what on her robes, which are fairly burnt. You also notice that she has a flail on her belt and stuff. Upon examining it a bit closer, you notice tucked in a sense of what's left of her robes, is a dusty spell book. A dusty spell book that is a black book that is black leather and covered with spots of tiny skull shapes. And you also notice that one of the skulls is kind of like shaped like a locking mechanism along the book. Kind of like a locking clasp, but it's shaped as a skull.
Nice.
Did Senric survive?
Yeah, you stable. You gave him 6 hit points. Yeah, she's fine.
Okay.
Okay, and the room appears like it's about to collapse, right?
You just can distinguish. You can hear the grumble and the like stuff starting to buckle. From how long it's got, you don't know how long you've got before this thing crumbles.
I'm gonna snatch that book and book it. No pun intended.
Where's the book from?
The female.
Her robes.
Okay.
So I literally just knelt down, quickly like sorted through her robes, saw the book, grabbed it, and bolted out the door.
Yep. What's the rest of you doing here?
Can I quickly view the dead man on the table?
Okay, so you can quickly do that. So you kind of walk up to the table. You notice it is a corpse of a male. Fairly starting to compose. You also notice that carved into him is some like symbols, of which you don't know. You've never seen them before and stuff, but there is some like symbols carved into him. Other than that, he has some of his clothes are still there, but yeah, it's fairly starting to rot and decay. You can, from looking at him and the smell, he's been dead at least 4 or 5 days.
Okay. Would I be able to memorize the symbols, or can I write them down somewhere?
You can, in a sense, memorize it, but you've not going to, in a sense, right now, you're not going to have time to write it down.
Right. Okay. I'll attempt to memorize.
Okay,
the
you
symbols.
attempt to very quickly memorize. Okay, give me an intelligence roll here. Okay, what
Intelligence.
is everyone else doing that's still in this room?
Can I look for any like plaques or like symbols on the woman herself? That
So
can
on-
relate to
yeah.
Cole?
Okay, so on the woman, upon examining her further, you notice. You notice very quickly at the glance, and upon doing this, you start to hear the of parts of the braces start to buckle.
Question: how do I give you an intelligence check?
Just roll a straight intelligence.
Which is.
Just roll intelligence straight.
You click your intelligence.
You notice that on this woman, 10, right? You notice on this woman, pretty much around, just below her neck is a kind of black triangle with a white skull in it.
I'm gonna grab it. And
You
then
grab
I'm
it.
gonna
Yep.
Follow Craven out.
Yep. You grab it and fall out. Senric, what are you doing right now?
I'm gonna follow out.
Get you following this. Kim, start you in a sense leaving right now, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did my check?
I'll let you know in a minute. You in a sense believe you've got it
Oh.
and stuff. You're in a hurry as you start to hear the bits of the support beams go, and you start to see bits of the roof start to fall. Kim, you need to give me a dexterity save to get out here.
Oh no.
This is collapsing. This roof's collapsing. If you
Save.
straight deck save as
Yeah.
you all see at the very last minute, Bridget dives out the door, just
I
missing.
literally like dive and just barge right through it, the lot
Yeah.
of them, and
Yeah.
smack into the wall.
As the ceiling of this room collapses. Collapses. Well done. You made out alive.
Okay,
Phew.
nice. So, my next action. As I sort of slump against the wall, like, well, fuck, that just happened. Patting down still smoldering pieces of my clothing.
Yep.
I attempt to open the book.
Okay, so the book is locked. So you're either going to have to attempt to pick it here or break it open.
I will attempt to pick it.
Okay. So I need you to give me a sleight of hands with disadvantage here
With disadvantage.
because you're not naturally able to do this and you don't have the correct tools to do it.
Fair enough.
13, another one, please. 18. Okay. After about a minute of doing, you successfully managed to click the book open. Do you open the book? Do you click open? Do you open it?
I open the book.
Okay. Opens the book. Can we know that? Okay. Upon doing so, a wisp of black smoke rises from the pages and kind of conjures itself into the shape of a skull that crackles madly for a few seconds before disappearing. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
That was cool, but it's not going to end up being cool.
Oh, yeah.
You lucky motherfucker. You succeed.
Ooh.
Hell yeah. So what's in this very
One
important
sec.
book I have stolen?
Mhm.
A recipe to make cookies.
I love cookies!
Okay.
Whilst he's reading it, can I cast Cure Wounds on him quickly?
Yeah, you can cast Cure Wounds.
There you go, 4 hit.
Okay.
I quickly...
So looking at this book, having an examination of this book, you notice from your knowledge of your exploration and your wonders, you've seen necromancer spells before. You've seen a necromancer. You know that they cast necromancy spells.
Yes.
You also notice that majority of these spells are kind of like Scorching Ray, Fireball, and start some. But you also notice that there's one there called Animate Dead,
Okay.
which is typical of a necromancer. And you can determine that she used Animated Dead on the swarm of rats that were attacking you.
Fair
Did
enough.
you tell this to the rest of the group, Nichols, or?
I will straight up say, okay, so here, this is confirmation they were in fact a necromancer. She raised those rats herself.
Yep.
This is her spellbook.
Okay.
Can I ask to look at the spellbook to see if I recognize those symbols?
Sure. So you can go up to Craven and ask Craven if you can show you the spellbook. Craven, do you show her the book?
I am going to turn the book around,
Mm-hmm.
but I will not let go of it, exclaiming that when I first opened the book, it attempted to curse me.
In a sense, anyone that could see Senric would have seen this. Would have seen a skull rise from the book.
Yeah, but I will sort of state, like, this book isn't exactly normal. I'm
Yeah.
I'm being cautious with this. I'm not going to let someone else take hold of it for now.
Okay.
Okay,
So
I
I
try
need.
and explain what the symbols look
Okay.
like.
I
while
need.
he, flicks through the
Yep.
pages.
So I need you to. Okay. So you explaining in a sense to Senric what these symbols look like. Craven
And
has to
I will
distinguish.
show them the pages. Like, I will turn the book towards them and, like,
Okay,
show
yeah.
them the pages, but
Yep.
I won't, like, let them hold it for now.
Okay, so you flick through the pages, and nothing catches your eye. Upon flicking through the pages, though, Bridget, you notice that the symbol that you remember, it isn't an exact match, but it's fairly, from what you remember in the time and in your mind in the panic, you took a snapshot and ran. Upon flipping the pages, you notice that you can't be certain, but the symbols that were carved in, or the symbol that you managed to remember, looks to just be like in her book next to Animate Dead. It looks to be that she's got a similar symbol to it, but
Okay.
you're not 100% sure because in a sense you were doing this fairly quickly.
Right, okay, well, I'm gonna reiterate that's what I think the symbols
Huh?
were on the dead guy on the table, so that, again,
Okay.
possibly
so it's
confirms the fact that
So
they're
it's possible
bringing dead
they're
people.
trying to transform or animate them.
Yeah.
Okay. Could I please have a spell list for this book, please, Bert?
I will send you later because there's quite a lot.
Oh, okay.
There's like a number of spells here. So I will have to send it to you later, if that's okay.
Because yeah, it sounds like there might be a couple things that are useful to learn in here.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of spells here.
And now that I understand how that locking mechanism works, I can use it reliably.
I would, if you want to, you need to give me an Arcana check here.
So just like that, like little skull locks
Yeah,
I filled with
yeah.
opened.
Yeah. So you
Arcana?
would need to give me an Arcana check to see if, in a sense, if you were to close it and reopen it, is it going to trigger again?
Okay.
Okay. 15. You determine that if you close the lock and reopen this lock, you notice that on the back of the lock there is some carvings of a spell. You can distinguish from looking at it and your knowledge of being a spellcaster, you can distinguish that the lock is the magical trigger that triggers that skull or curse to appear. So you can distinguish that if you close the lock, it reactivates it. If you leave it open, it's not going to go off if you look for the page. If that makes sense.
Okay, so essentially, if I specifically close that lock, I can essentially trap the book, but I don't
Yes.
have to lock it.
Okay.
Okay.
No, if you shut the lock, it'll activate the thing again, but it won't lock it. If you leave, in a sense, if you don't clasp it shut, it's not going to activate because the trigger is deactivated.
Yeah, so I can now just use it like a normal book unless
Yes.
I specifically state that I lock it It won't
yes,
trigger.
it won't trigger. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? So what's everyone else doing here?
I don't know about anybody else, but I'm seriously low on health.
I am as well. I'm still at 6 health.
Okay. Who's lower?
I'm at 4, but I do have a health potion that I can use.
So I'm gonna turn to Senric and I'm going to give him my health potion.
Okay.
I refuse.
What?
Do you refuse the health potion?
I do, because I want him to use it if he needs it.
Okay, Senric, he can refuse it.
Sure.
He can refuse it. So
And as he refuses it, I'm gonna cast Healing Word on him sneakily.
okay, so you cast Healing Word, cast it. You gain 4 hit points.
See, there we go. That's better. I can take that. That's fine.
How do we use healing
and then-
potions?
So roll. Can you roll me count? I believe it's 2. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure I know what it is.
You can
I just
roll it. You can roll it on
2d4 plus 2?
if you click on it. There you go. Look.
Yeah.
Potion of Healing 9.
There you go. Thank you. I just couldn't remember whatever this was, but yeah. Yep. 9 hit points.
Yeah, and then you can remove it. You go to equipment and then you scroll down to Healing Potion.
Okay.
Click on it, and then top right it should say 2d8 plus 2. And then you should be able to hit the little B next to it and you should roll it.
She's already done it, so she can just add on her
Oh.
hit.
There you
Oh,
go.
okay.
Yes, just in your hit points. I don't know if Beyond will activate it for you or what. So you might have to update your health.
No, it doesn't
The
actually.
helmet to 4.
Nice.
The helmet up to full that did.
Nice. Okay. Perfect. So, what are you doing now? The dust is settled from the collapse, and you can distinguish that someone's probably heard that explosion.
Yeah, I say we just press on.
Yeah, let's press on.
Now, again, do we head down or do we head up these stairs to that door there?
Will this just loop around? You think? I think you would just loop around, maybe.
Might. Also might not. Can I open this door and just peek in to see?
Yeah. So you can open the door. 1 sec. Okay, so you open the door and peek in. It is pitch black, but with your dark vision, you notice that when you peek your head around the corner and look down, you can see an altar with some candles lit on it.
I'm going to state what I can see.
Yep.
To Nonyo and Senric, who are right behind me, and they can pass that down. Are we intrigued enough to investigate?
Sure.
Yep, so on you.
Why
Okay.
not? It's only like I've faced death once
Okay.
already.
So, this partially dry and collapsed room contains a stone altar with human skull and bowls piled around it. The top of the altar is covered with a dozen of half-melted wax candles made of black wax. All are currently unlit.
Give me a split second. I'm going to light them with my tinderbox.
Okay. How many? All of them? Or just start lighting
I'm
them
going to
one by
light
one?
all the candles.
Okay. As you do, you notice that on the wall behind the altar here, so in a sense, when you light the candles, they give off a green kind of light. And upon doing so, you notice that on the altar in the back, a phrase appears saying, "Rise and be counted."
Rise and be counted. I repeat the phrase out loud.
You repeat the phrase out loud. Upon doing so, the words on the wall vanish. You begin to hear the debris behind you begin to move, and three skeletons rise and stand to attention. So three skeletal creatures have just rised from the rubble and are in a sense standing to attention.
So they're not attacking us.
Nope,
Just at
they're
attention.
standing to attention. So three skeletal creatures
I
have appeared and are standing to attention.
turn to them.
Mhm.
And I say, you in the center, step forward.
The one in the center steps forward.
Oh no.
Immediately slaps him.
I say,
Also, just so I'm users are all aware, everyone that was in range of the altar gains 5 temporary hit points.
Oh my god.
Ooh, is that me? Does that include
Everyone
me?
in range of the
Range.
10 feet. So you're included in this room, Kim.
Yeah.
How many hit points? Sorry.
5
10.
temporary hit
Alright,
points.
So here's a question: if I've got 10 hit points, right, and I get
Mhm.
5 temporary, does that bring me up to 13, and then I get 2
No.
temporary, or
No, no. So
adds temp.
it adds temps. You've got your hit points and temp hit points. There's 2 separate entities. So when you take
Okay.
damage, it takes off the temp hit points first before it touches your actual hit points. Imagine it being an extra layer of armor that has to be destroyed. And that sort of thing. So you ever played Hearthstone where you've got to like knock someone's shields away to hit them? Kind of like that.
No, I haven't.
Well, it's the best way to describe it.
This one in the center that has stepped forward to meet me.
Step forward and is looking you like standing at attention.
I say, you must bear the responsibility of commanding your 2 brothers.
He
Now,
kind of looks at them, and looks at you, Craven, and goes, "We are ready to follow your orders."
Can I
I
edge them
then-
on to fight each other?
Do you ask that?
I then-
Do you say that, Craven?
Hmm?
Does Senric say that I command you to attack each other? That's what
No,
Nope,
I
just
said,
checking.
can I?
you can try it. It's up to you.
could.
You can try.
I'm going to hush Senric,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna say, my soldiers, and I'm gonna point to the hallway we just came from.
Yep.
And I'm gonna say, take point.
So you're telling them to go here.
Yeah.
The 3 of them march in line, take point.
Wait, why not send them to where we're going?
We are, aren't we?
Because
Listen,
we're
we'll-
heading down back through. We're heading down
Oh,
through that
I-
lower door.
They
But what about this area over here?
They
What's
take
over
point.
here?
So that's a set of
I mean-
stairs that lead down.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go over here.
Yep.
Yeah, that just
So
leads back to where we were.
It leads down
Oh.
into what looks to be water.
So I'm gonna assume my character's going to assume that's backwards for now,
Okay, fair enough.
and I am going to march behind my skeletons as they take point back towards this door.
Okay, so
Can I march ahead?
you can march ahead, yes, but they will be.
Just order him to follow. Just order him to follow Senric, I guess.
Yeah, okay. Follow
Yep.
Senric.
So you order them to follow Senric. For the sake of this, I'm just going to combine them into one just to make this easier. So they follow behind and follow you, Senric.
I open the door.
You open the door. This is the same place that you've seen this room before. So this room is just a normal standard room. You do notice that upon looking in the room, Henrik, you notice in the corner is a normal rat just sitting there going nibbling on a little bit of food.
Can I throw my dagger at it and kill it?
Sure.
It's food for later.
It's up to you. You can do it if you want.
Do I have to roll for it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. What would that be under? Just straight up.
Straight attack. Just do attack. Straight attack.
Attack. All right. let's go to action. So where's my other so dagger.
Miss.
Oh.
Upon throwing the dagger, the rat looks at you, and you see it scurry away into a small hole in the wall, and disappear.
Okay. So I'm gonna continue walking in.
Okay, so you walk in.
Retrieve my dagger.
You walk in, retrieve your dagger. This is an ordinary room. Nothing. It's just an ordinary room that leads down to a corridor to the west.
Okay. I'll continue leading. Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna have a closer look around. Can I do a perception check
Sure.
and see if there's anything I'm missing?
16. You have a look around the room. There's nothing that catches your eye here.
All right, onwards.
Okay. So you make your way down. What's up, you Craven?
So okay, onwards we go.
Yep. So you make your way down.
Dead rat's still there.
These fucking skeletons. Oh my god, they're so annoying.
You weren't expect. I keep activating altars. I don't know why I know the processes for these.
It's
things.
just I'll let you know I'll let you know a wee secret. If you it says these words are spoken, they arise. I'm like, great. And I'm like, is someone going to do it? I'm like, they fucking will. Okay. So Senric, you approach a door that is half submerged in water, and in a sense when you enter, so it's 2 feet deep water. The door's like 2 feet deep of water here, and this door is like shut and submerged partially.
Well, was there another path, or was this the only?
Nope,
path
this
or
was the only path. Oh.
Okay, then I misinterpreted what I had seen.
Yep. So do you want the door?
I'm gonna very, very, very carefully open the door.
Okay.
Sleight of hand. No.
You'll struggle to sleight of hand this door and open it quietly because you're in water. So it's going to require a bit of effort here to push the door.
Mm-hmm.
So you can open it.
High roll. I'm gonna need.
You will need a really high roll here. You'll need a high roll to open it quietly. Okay. You open, in a sense, with sleight of hand. So what you're doing is you open the door, but you're controlling the opening of it with your sleight of hand. You're opening the latch carefully and pushing quietly. Okay. You open the door. Upon opening the door, this room is filled with 2 feet of water. There is like rubble surrounding the edges of this room, and a narrow. Okay, you do notice that when you enter this room, it's 2 foot deep, and there is water everywhere. The room is partially collapsed around the edges. You notice parts of the room have collapsed and stuff. You also notice that in the middle of this room are 4 rotten beams that rise from the murky water. There is rubble piled to the northwest of this corner of this room, and what looks to be a very narrow corridor leading to the north.
Beams of stone, yeah.
Wood.
Ooh, that's not nice.
So rotting beams of wood.
I'm gonna kind of.
As Nanya here attempts an interpretive dance.
Okay, so what are you still doing here? These skeletons are just following you, Senric, right behind you. 3 skeletons just going.
Good, because I'm the one who got smited down last time. I deserve the
Okay,
bodyguard.
are you all continuing up?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
so let
I stepped further into the room to see if there was anything in the back, and then I
Yep.
followed Cedric.
okay, so
Yeah.
upon entering this part of the part, you hear a musky smell of the water around. You hear the musty smell of water coming from what you can only guess is the sarcophagus in front of you. The stone lid is open, and you can smell a very foul stench, which you, in a sense, it's really strong here. And from what you can only determine, it must either be coming from the altar or somewhere in this room. It stinks.
Someone brought some Febreze. Alright, I'm gonna inspect this little thing here.
Okay, one sec.
I'm just gonna step forward into the room.
Okay, do you look? Are you just looking in? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. I'm refreshing my page.
Sure.
because
So
I
you have a look in.
mess up at the back. What do I do? Perception?
If you're just having a look in. So
Perception.
Yep.
Okay. Let me relink it. There we go. It should be linked up properly. Perception check.
16. Okay. So upon looking in the altar, you notice that the body in here is. You notice that the exposure to the dampness has rotten the bones in the sarcophagus, reducing them to pretty much a black sludge.
Yeah.
You double check. Okay. And stuff. You do notice, Senric, upon your examination, that you can see bits and what looks to be bits of stone poking out, like an iceberg, like a bit of stone poking out the water next to the sarcophaguses. You notice
Huh.
a couple bits just poking out the water.
Can I have a look?
Hmm?
Is that another perception check?
No. So you do notice them. So upon doing and lifting out the bits of water, you lift out what looks to be part of the lid of the sarcophagus.
Maybe we should close it because that would be respectful.
I'll help.
Okay. Yep. So you have a look around and you can find the other two pieces of the sarcophagus, and do you place it back on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So upon placing the parts of the sarcophagus back on the lid, you start to see carved into the lid the likeness of a screaming barbarian wielding an axe.
Oh, that was Spartan's last character.
Do we recognize this character?
No. No.
Wait, what do we mean Spartan's last character?
Rimrock.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
I
Upon also doing so, you do hear a click upon completing it, but nothing happens.
But
Can I?
But wait, what did I miss? What
I'll
was the
explain
last
that.
character?
We'll explain it later.
He was originally gonna play one and then he switched.
Yeah, and I surprised these guys with it.
He hasn't died, or he didn't die in the first session. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I
but
was
my-
trying to think.
No.
Okay.
Still exists somewhere.
Somewhere.
So since we heard a click and nothing happened,
Uh-huh.
can I just slide one of the pieces and peek in to see if the situation inside the sarcophagus has changed at all?
Sure.
Back alive.
Upon opening the sarcophagus, part of the sarcophagus,
I hear the smile on Bert's face and I don't like it.
I know.
upon doing so, you hear and a spiritual ghostly great axe appears above the sarcophagus.
Spartan's old character.
Oh no.
The great axe
Comes out, I'm gonna lick it.
swings, will swing at all the people in range, which will probably include your skeletal creatures here because they're here as well.
Okay.
Okay.
It's like
Triggering
a
thing.
full circle swing.
I just trigger everything.
Yeah, you do. We were super respectful and you fucked it up.
Okay.
I'm looking for secrets. Oh, that's a lot of rolls.
That's a lot of rolls.
For the sake of the,
Just keeps going.
I love this. I love this. The fact that you can't see it, like. "Ah!" Okay, so I'm going to do this to the first people I see in the list. So, Cernric, does a 4 hit you?
No.
El Nino, does a 14 hit you?
14.
Yes.
Yeah. it
Okay,
does.
hits you. Craven, does a 15 hit you?
Oh, yeah, it does.
Your skeletons get hit. Kim, does a 16 hit you?
Wait, Kim's in range?
Yeah, it's within 10 foot.
Oh, wow.
All
yes,
creatures
it
within
can.
10. All creatures within 10 foot. Okay. Used to as you see this great axe swing, and it kind of like passes through you all, but okay.
Ooh.
Y'all take 3 damage, including your skeletons here.
The temp. Woo, get rid of
So
the temps.
if I believe Cendric is the only one that doesn't take damage here, so you're fine. Everyone else takes 3 damage, and
Yeah.
the axe does it and then fades away.
I better not take damage. I took one for the team already.
Okay, so,
So it's just 3 damage.
3 damage. That's what you take.
cool.
Okay.
I continue peering into the little hole that I made just to see if
Yep.
any
Nothing.
physical situation has changed.
Nothing has changed.
Okay, I immediately
Um,
slide it back into place.
You slide it back into place upon doing so. You hear the click.
Okay, nobody open this.
Can I do a history check on the cover? To see if it's anything
Yeah.
to start
History.
for?
Yeah. There you go. 16. Upon looking at having an examination of the sarcophagus, the water has fairly degraded a lot of the making outs. From what you can distinguish, it's nothing historical. There's nothing historical in it. You do determine that this is a resting place of a barbarian fighter that wielded a great axe. Of who you do not know. It's too faded to be able to get much off of it, but it just looks to be the resting place of someone.
Okay.
What are you saying?
I state to the others that we should probably continue forward.
I turned to him. You sure you don't want to check it out again?
I will put you in it, Cedric.
And I'll help with that actually. That seems
Okay,
Bathe in the sludge.
so what we do?
I guess we have to make a way out. There's no overpass. There's no overpass we've checked.
Yep, so you just start to make your way back down.
Yeah,
So did we kill everyone in the cave, basically?
I guess.
You start skeleton creatures. I'm assuming you're all going to make your way back to the doorway here.
Where?
The way you came in. Sorry, the door
Yeah.
back that way. I'll just drag you there for quickness if it makes it easier for you.
Mm.
Like,
How the
moving
fuck
my
did you
arm,
get
thank
there?
Very much.
I am a god.
Right.
I
So
just-
what did you do? Is that use?
Okay, I'm going to state then
Hmm?
that the only. What? 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 What?
Henrik, stop moving.
I'm actually.
Sorry, just
I'm
because
gonna
you're
say,
talking here.
Yeah, once we get like back to this point, I'm gonna say, okay, maybe this was a different way, and I'm gonna head back over here.
Yep. Your skeletal creatures will naturally, by default, be just keeping with you. Unless you state otherwise, they will follow you.
Yeah, I'm gonna sort of say like, stick to me, my soldier.
Right. So you enter here. Okay.
I'm immediately just gonna recognize this door and be like,
Okay. Can I just get you to stop?
I turned on. I told you this was the way to go.
I need you all who have just entered this room to give me a. So that is Senric, Craven,
Wait, I'm coming. I'm just
Kim,
eating.
to make me. Just give me a. Survival check.
Survival check.
Yep, survival check.
Yeah, don't mind me. I nearly had like a fucking disaster.
So this is okay, right? Anyone that scored above a 10, realize you start to before you start to enter this room. I say pretty much where you are, Kim, is where you start to smell this. So you all would have smelled this. You begin to smell a very, very putrid stench coming from this room. Everyone that's got a 10 or higher begins to realize that this room is, from what you can tell, filled with methane gas. And your survival knowledge tells you that any flame here will ignite it. So I know for a fact that, so who didn't? Senric, if you did have a light source like a torch, you would have naturally, subconsciously have turned off.
I didn't have one though. So
I'll assume it. I'm guessing it's your dancing lights is above you, so I don't think that does anything. But you notice that this room is full of fucking
reach for my Tinder partner.
methane gas that everyone that got to Hennerbite, you know from your survival and just general knowledge of being out and about, a single spark could set this off.
So, we all smell that.
You all smell it.
All but me.
Can we just like take a match, throw it in the room, and then enter?
Well,
after it's all burned off.
If
we like leave, and then one of us is like, throw it in, right, and then close the door.
That'd fuck up the entire network.
And
that'd
then
fuck up the entire network.
Well,
but the flame would expand. That would be an explosion.
So your knowledge. I believe Senric and Craven, you've got quite highness. You know, if you light a match and throw it, there will be an explosion and stuff. So you know, throwing the match in this room, there will be an explosion. There will also be a partial shockwave.
But to be fair, right? If we're in
there's a city above us
room and we're being safe, right?
We'll send the iron door flying at Mach speed.
Look, we could kill whatever enemies are ahead of us.
Guys, there's a city above us. If we blow shit up down here, it's probably gonna collapse in on itself and probably kill innocent people.
Yeah, but we're not actually soldiers, so we don't actually.
We want to get money for this.
You also do know that there is about 2 foot of water here as well. So you're in 2 foot of water. 2 feet of water, and this room is full of full of gas.
So
I think we should try and
basically
as little as possible.
Okay. So, due to my character's extensive survival knowledge and the
Is
fact
dancing lights actually flame?
Is it? Should you check that for me?
I don't think you've cast dancing lights yet, though.
Yeah, you haven't.
It's a cantrip anyway, so I don't use a spell slot. It's just I can just do it whenever. I'll do it for now anyway. No, it's just a fake light.
Fine.
Don't use any flame.
That's fine.
Okay, so due to my sort of proficiency and survival session, would I know why there's a lot of methane in the room? Like, would I at least be able to hypothesize and have a guess?
So, you know, I assume mostly from your check, and you know from where you, in a sense, you're in what looks to be a fucking system of sewers and stuff. This is natural. It's naturally developing gas. So, you know, in the natural world, you will get pockets of like methane gas and stuff that will build up. This looks to be a build-up of gas coming from somewhere. You don't know where it's coming from, but there might be a crack somewhere. There might be it could just be this part of this room. It's just over time build up with this gas. It could be that part of this place that you're in is it's got a crack leading to a fucking massive storage of gas, natural gas that is just been seeping in.
So I'm gonna say one of my suspicions, and I'm gonna say this in character as well, is that due to what we've seen and a couple of the things we've run into, part or all of the buildup of this gas could be because it's ahead is the corpse disposal. Because bloated corpses release methane.
Yeah, this could also be from that.
What's the idea of air in here? Do we have air to breathe?
So right now, you can breathe. It's not the way to describe it. It's not fucking. You're not choking for air. You can smell it. There is oxygen here, so it's not at toxic levels. Also, it's not toxic. You can breathe, and it stinks. It's a very, very foul smell.
Okay, so no flames. Proceed. Extreme caution.
And I'm like, no flames at all.
No more fireball.
No more firebomb. No more firebomb. No more matches. No more tinder boxes. Just stab things, okay? Just stab things.
Okay.
And I'm gonna carry on. I'm gonna walk past and go for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk forward.
Okay, give me a second.
Ooh. Fuck, man. How deep is this? The fuck?
2 feet deep. Okay. So you make your way through. I'm also just messaging over is that I'm deafened yourself so you can't hear us right now.
Okay.
Okay. So you make your way and you trudge your way through, and it does take some effort and stuff. But you make your way through. So you can make your way through.
Can I go down here?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna head up or to the right.
Depends. I don't know. I kind of want to go down here because I think that will lead.
Yeah, let's go.
Seems like an exit rather than an entrance. You know what I mean?
Okay, so if you make your way down, can you stop it? I'll tell you when to stop. I'm just going to take a notes as we're doing this. And I'll move for all intents and purposes Zenrik and Kim.
Kim is BRB.
Fine. Right, so...
pause for a second.
Well, do you want to take a small break to grab a drink and stuff? Stuff? Yep, so we'll take a short 5-minute break right now, people. Grab a drink and stuff, because I do need one. And I'll take some notes. So everyone go and grab a drink, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes. I'll also just leave this open and stuff, just in case you want to ask me any questions, or if anyone in chat wants to ask questions, they can ask.